What's up guys, Futberg here and welcome to another video. And today we're going to be looking at Bundesliga Team of the Season investing. Now, I am recording these videos during La Liga Team of the Season, so I'm recording them in advance. So obviously any prices that you see on the video now when you're watching this will be different, but you can put the same methodology into everything, so it will be easy enough to follow along. Before we get into the video, I want to show you a really quick example using a La Liga Team of the Season. Jump over to the PC screen now. You can see Rafa Varane on the screen, the 87 rated inform. Now on Wednesday, when the guaranteed Premier League Team of the Season pack came out, there was an absolute mass panic on the market. All special cards were going down because all Timmies were selling all their cards so they could afford to do the guaranteed pack. Now, Varane I'm going to use an example, and also I've got Casemiro to use an example as well. Now, Varane we all knew was going to be in Team of the Season. So this is what is called a substitute investment. So I went to the 87 Rafael Varane. Unfortunately, hourly graph, we can't go back to Wednesday. But on the daily graph, if we go back to Wednesday, you can see a really low point. But it actually goes the next day, it shows the low point. Because an hourly graph takes, obviously, hourly things. Whereas a daily graph just does a daily sort of link of all the prices. If we go to Thursday with Varane, you can see his price quite often is around 290 in the 300s. So I picked him up at 285, 290. That was what I picked him up at. Now, as the week went on, his price slowly started to increase, as you can see, because people were starting to buy him. This was on the Friday that the Team of the Season came out. People were starting to buy him because they knew he was in Team of the Season. They knew that his card was going to be expensive. So what we did, we bought on Wednesday at that cheap price of 290. And then on the Friday, at this point here, just before 6 o'clock, he was actually at 380,000 coins. Now, this was the sell point. A lot of people will have held on thinking he's going to carry on rising in price. But what actually happened, what has been surprising this year with Team of the Season, a lot of the cards have been very, very cheap. So Varane came in around 2 million, started dropping to around 1.7, and as that started dropping, also with Ramos being really cheap as well, these informs started dropping and he tailed off to around 350. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking to buy cards on the Wednesday of the guaranteed packs. So for this Bundesliga, if Bundesliga is going to come out next Friday, we're going to go in and buy our Bundesliga specials on the Wednesday of the guaranteed La Liga SBC, if that makes sense. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to buy on the Wednesday and then we're going to sell on the Friday of the Bundesliga coming out. Now that is substitute investing with Varane. Now link investing would be Casemiro. Now I posted on my Twitter at 82,000 Casemiro, you could get between 80 and 82,000 on Snipe. I posted on my Twitter, links down in the description, so you'll see all of these things. He was coming in on the Thursday on the Wednesday at 82,000. I'm not sure. It was a bit higher on the Thursday. People seemed to get in on him and he started to rise up. But on the Wednesday, he was easy to pick up between 80 and 82. And then yesterday, as the Team of the Season came out for La Liga, Casemiro, obviously he can't be in the La Liga Team of the Season because he was in most consistent. EA have already told us if they're in most consistent, they won't get into the main team. As he went in, as the La Liga Team of the Season came out, Casemiro started rising in price. He went up to around 120k because he's a brilliant link investment to those La Liga Team of the Seasons. He's a strong link to a lot of players, so his price naturally goes up. Now his price went up to around that 120k and he seems to have held it. He dropped back off down to around 110, and then today he's back up at this moment in time, back up to around 100 and 115. But on the Friday, he was at that high point. So again, you can sell on the Friday after buying on the Wednesday. Now, they are the examples to get into this video. So now we're going to look at exactly the same thing with Bundesliga players. So guys, what you can see on the screen now is a picture of the top tier Bundesliga team of the season cards. So what we're going to do, we're going to go through each player on the screen, and we're going to have a look at link investments and substitute investments. Obviously, some of them won't have link investments, but then there's cards like Upamecano who will have link investments from like the likes of most consistent team of the season. So straight away, we're going to jump over, and first of all, we're going to look at Robert Lewandowski. So guys, right now you can see on the screen we have got team of the season Robert Lewandowski, and what we're going to do is we're going to jump over onto the computer screen and we're going to have a look at his alternatives. Now the two main alternatives will be the headliner Robert Lewandowski and also the 94 rated team of the week moments. Now the headliner and the team of the week moments, what you want to be doing is ignore these prices you see on the screen now. On next Wednesday, or whatever Wednesday it is that we get the guaranteed pack for La Liga, you're going to be going out and buying these specials that drop in price from Panic. Now, I'm obviously recording this during La Liga team of the season. Bundesliga might not be next. Bundesliga might be the last. But when you know what's coming, because you've seen the leaks on Twitter, you should know what's coming. And I'll have posted this video on a Tuesday when I know. So when you see this video, basically what I'm saying won't make any difference because this will be the league that's coming. But you will buy these cards on the Wednesday during the guaranteed packs during the Panic. So say for instance you can get this Lewandowski for 600k. Say for instance you could get a good snipe on this team of the week moment. Say you could get him for 200k. Now what you're going to do, you're going to hold them cards, and then throughout Thursday you should see a gradual rise on those two cards and going into Friday. And what you want to look to do is you want to sell your cards off on that Friday. You want to make sure you don't get greedy, because if you get greedy and you list for an hour, your card is stuck on that market for an hour and people can be undercutting you. If you see on Futbin that say you pick up this Lewandowski at 200,000 coins and you see at 3 o'clock on Friday he's coming in at 250, don't be greedy and list 255. Go in and list 248. Just take your coins. Make sure you're guaranteed to get them, okay? So that is what we're going to be looking at. For Lewandowski, we're going to be looking at the team of the week moments and the headliner. And if you're going from prices today, you're going to be looking at around 600k for the headliner and around 200k for the team of the week moments. Next up on our list, we're going to be looking at Haaland, who's had a brilliant season, moved over to Dortmund and just carried on. So we've got a couple of his Dortmund cards to look at. We're going to jump over onto the computer and have a look at the prices and what we should be looking for. So first up, we have got his Future Stars card that is very pricey. But what you have to think about is how much this could drop with the possibility of a better Haaland. That's the only reason I've mentioned this card, because if there is great panic like there was last Wednesday, I can see this guy falling a crap ton. So that is the only reason I've put him up there. So unless he doesn't drop astronomical amounts, I wouldn't touch this card. I could see his 95, 96 rated team of the season coming in. I think of a player like Benzema, and Benzema's coming in at 1.1 million. So it's not much more expensive than what this Future Stars is at the minute. So keep that sort of in mind. And the other one to look at is his 88 rated, the UCL card. I think the man of a match card. Now, this is coming in at 93,000 at the moment. I would be looking for this to drop down below 80, maybe. But like I said, you sort of got to ignore the prices you're seeing on the screen with me right now, because this could be in 6 days or it could be in 13 days. We just don't know. We don't know what order they're coming in. But this is another card that you want to look at because it's quite low, and he is a very much loved and hyped card throughout FIFA. I think this one you could be able to turn over quite easily when the team of the season hype does come out. Next up on our list, we have got Timo Werner. Now, I know a lot of you are really excited to try and get your hands on this team of the season card. He's had an insane season. It is an insane card. Let's jump over to the PC and see what prices we're going to be looking at. So we are going to start off with the headliner, Timo Werner. He's coming in at this moment in time at 294,000, probably around 300k. With this card, I would be looking for him to drop. I'm looking at the same sort of area as with the sort of Varanes, dropping at around 50k and then climbing back up. So this card, I would be looking at maybe trying to get around 250,000 going off this price. That's around minus 50,000 from what he is now. And then also, we've got the 88 version, which I think is a lot more accessible to the casual player. He's coming in around 110,000 now. This card you want to be looking to maybe drop around 20 to 25k. These ones are just easy. You need to think about Timo Werner. If he does get that 95 card that we saw on the screen previously, it is going to be crazily expensive. Around sort of the Upamecano, Aguero prices of 1.8 to 2 million. So we need to look at it like that. People aren't going to be able to afford to pay that. They will want their 89 and 88 Werners back, so they'll go back and they'll buy these cards again. So I think overall this could be a really good one to look at. So make sure you keep an eye out for a drop in those prices for those cards. Next up on the list, we've got the man between the sticks, Manuel Neuer. The best goalkeeper in the Bundesliga by a fair distance, some might say. We're going to jump over onto the PC screen. We've got the 90 rated Manuel Neuer here. I think this card could dip around to about 110k or so. When this flashback card came out earlier on in the year, I did this method with the 89 rated. The flashback came out, the 89 rated dropped massively. I went in on the 89, and then when the 92 flashback Neuer expired, the 89 ramped up in price, and this is exactly what we're going to be doing with this 90 rated Manuel Neuer. So it is going to be a nice simple one for you for this, guys, because this man, the team of the season Neuer, I think he could come in relatively cheap when we look at ter Stegen, who's coming at 250k. But I still think you could see a nice little rise on this 90 rated Manuel Neuer because of all the links that he is going to have. So the final player on our list, we're going to be looking at Upamecano, who is a very overpowered centre-back in FIFA. So we're going to jump over now onto the PC screen and we're going to have a look at link investments for him. So when we go over to Upamecano and we click on his links, you can see the players that you've got. Mukiele, we've got straight away. And then I want to have a look at the strong links. You want to skip past these French the French icons, and we want to have a look at some cards that will link very well to him. Also, there's Theo Hernandez that I'm going to throw in there as well as a little extra that you didn't see in the picture. Now, this guy is also very expensive at the moment. Ever since he's sort of gone out of packs, this is the point. He's risen up to around 380, but he's dropped down slightly now that you've got some other good centre-backs in the game. But I think in the panic, if we could pick this guy up anywhere around 320, even at this price, I still think if Upamecano comes, it'll have that perfect link, which I think could be absolutely brilliant. I think this could be a very good card to link invest with. And then at the back, you've got Galaxy. It's only 89 rated, and this is one, it could be a hit and you could make 5 or 6k a card. Because he's very cheap, I think it's an alright one. If you could pick him up at around 38k, maybe on bid, etc. If you see Upamecano in there, because they're from the same team, he would get a good strong link, so you might see a little rise on him. Dani Olmo, when the Future Stars came out, this guy was talked about a lot because he was a very good all-rounder. You can see that from his stats as well with his 4-star, 4-star. He is very cheap. Maybe if you could pick him up at around 60k, you could see a little rise with him. Excuse me. If you wanted people to try and fit Upamecano in their team. And last but not least, I said we put Lucas Hernandez in here. It's not Luke. Yeah, it is Lucas Hernandez. Theo Hernandez is the other one. Lucas Hernandez. Now, this guy was absolutely brilliant. I don't think he would get a team of the season, but I think this guy in general, not just for Upamecano, but in general, if this guy does drop on a Wednesday, you probably do want to look at getting him because he's going to offer you so many links. He's got that French nationality, which links him to the likes of Upamecano, plays for Bayern Munich, which gives him links to so many players that we've talked about. I think if this card drops to around 20k, you maybe want to pick him up, and he would be a very good card to sell off in that Friday hype of the team of the season. So guys, this has been a pretty long video. Hopefully you've sort of learned something and you've got a little plan in action for what you're going to do. To end the video, I'm going to give you some general out-of-pack Bundesliga investments. So as you can see on the screen now, there's 4 that I've got listed. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump over to the computer screen and we're going to look at those cards now. So as you can see, we have Marco Reus, Manuel Neuer, Timo Werner, and also if we scroll down, where is he? Serge Gnabry. Now those players, I think they could do very well out of packs. Obviously you've got Marco Reus and Neuer because they're 88 rated. When you've got good SBCs, they will go up naturally. If they're not in packs, they will go up naturally. Timo Werner, at the moment he's 14k for an 86. Again, when you're watching this, I don't know what price he will be, but out of packs, I can see him do well because he's used in a lot of SBCs. And then lastly, you've got a player like Serge Gnabry here. He's coming in at 4.5k. Maybe you want to look and try and get him for about 4k. But whenever there seems to be a Bayern Munich player out of packs that's an 84, Javi Martinez, Lucas Hernandez, for example, they always seem to shoot up to around that 8k mark. So you could maybe look to double your money on Serge Gnabry. So that is definitely something to look at. And that is pretty much going to be it, guys. If you've stuck around for the video, thank you very much. Hit that like button, it means a lot to me. Hit that little subscribe bell as well. We've just hit that 1,000 subscribers, so thank you so much for that, and hopefully we can keep growing from here. Until next time, guys, peace.